What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeffo coming at you with another video, and I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's been chasing their goals. Everybody's been doing everything they need to do to get where they need to be. You feel me? So today I wanted to basically talk to you guys about the feeling of being alone in the journey and how to, constantly keep moving and, not let, failures or, let's say outside sources stuff like get to you, and how do you continue when you yourself don't even feel like doing it. Now, a lot of times when I was younger, I had times in which I felt very, very low in the pursuit of whatever I was trying to do, right? And sometimes, most of the time, I would let the feeling get to my head and I would completely just tune out, and I would go back to the comfortable state in which that, I was before, where, I didn't have to have stress. I didn't have to have worry. I didn't have to have, the added pressure on myself. But in the long term, what ended up happening is that repeated act made me, you know, gain that feeling that I was trying to run away from, that sadness, that pressure of, trying to become great again. Like, it never went away. Like, it got even worse. It's tenfold. So giving up is not something that will help you, right? You thinking that the comfort of giving up and doing nothing and reverting back to your ways is not going to help you. You gotta think about, okay, so why did I want to do this in the first place, right? Why did I fight so hard to get to this spot? And why is this pressure feeling a little too much? And once you start dissecting that, then things get a little bit more easier for you, right? You got to remember, there was a reason why you wanted to do what you were doing, right? Now, a lot of the times, sometimes the reasons aren't, as secure, but most of the time, I will say, they are. There was a main reason, whether it be for your family, whether it be for a better life, whether it be for financial reasons, whether it be for educational reasons, whether it be for self-worth, whether it be for, whatever it had to be, whatever you wanted it to be. There was a good enough reason for you to start. And even if you don't choose to pursue it in, the long run, the main thing that you want to do is finish the act that you were trying to do. You want to be a finisher, right? You don't want to be a quitter, right? Repeated acts, we are creatures of habit. So if we see ourselves, right, because we have an internal and then we have an external, like, view of ourselves, right? The internal will look at it and be like, okay, wow, it's okay to just quit. It's okay for, me not to go and actually try to find an extra level or try to find an extra potential. Like, this is where I'm capped out at. But if you go and you pursue your dream, and though you feel like you want to quit, though you feel like today I don't want to do this, though you feel like this might be a bigger mountain than I wanted, and you keep continuing to find a way, most of the time you are going to survive, right? There's this thing called sink or swim, right? Before your body lets you sink, you're going to fight. You're going to find every single type of way to survive, right? And that doesn't only have to be in just water. But when I say sink or swim, it just means, like, you can put it in a broad sense. If you always put pressure on yourself, and you may not always succeed in the beginning, but you start seeing progress happen throughout times where you are put in high pressure situations and you start succeeding, you start getting used to that pressure, right? And the pressure doesn't get lesser, you just get stronger. You know what I mean? You get stronger every single battle that you go through, and you see that you're winning. Your confidence starts growing, right? When you wake up when you didn't want to wake up and you start working, you'll start feeling that boost and being like, oh, the hardest part was waking up. The hardest part was getting out of bed. The hardest part was starting. And now you're cruising. And now because you've already started and you've told yourself that you're not going to quit, and you've showed, in the past that you're not going to quit, you start making progress in whatever that you need to do. And that's when things start like happening for you. That's when your momentum starts growing, right? But if you stop your momentum and you're like, I don't want to do this, and you actually let that thought get into your head and it manifests in real life where you do actually stop, you're just basically telling yourself that you're a quitter, right? How can you trust yourself if you said you're going to do something and you don't finish it, right? You need to become a finisher. Finish everything that you want to do, and don't listen to the outside pressure, because I would say the strongest thing that stops us is the internal pressure, right? And the external pressures amplifies it. So if you feel like you can't do it, right, and you've told yourself and you've shown yourself countless days where, oh, I started to do something and I couldn't continue to do it, and you don't do it, then when an external pressure happens, it makes it that much easier for it to confirm that, oh yeah, nah, I can't do it because this happened, or I can't do it because he or she said this, right? So it's not even like that. The external that's really the main thing. It's basically because you've told yourself, oh, I'm not able to do this. Like, that's one of the main reasons why it feels even more tenfold. It's not actually the external, it's your internal. It's because you've quit before. Now, if you have quit before, there's ways that you can change this, right? You're not going to always be a quitter. You can always change yourself. We are people, we are humans that can adapt to situations, and it's all about mindset. Now, if you understand what I'm saying, right, sometimes it may take a couple of times for you to, watch the video or read books or see other people experience losses and see them come back. But we can come back from almost anything. We can come back from almost anything, right? And I say almost because some things may be a little too much, but most of the things that we fall back from, we can come back from. And if you keep working and you keep doing everything that you need to do to, grow, and okay, this happened, now I'm going to move on and I'm going to try to figure out a way to make this work, and do step-by-step strategic ways to improve yourself, to gain, footing and move forwards. You'll be able to do this, right? But it starts with not quitting. That feeling will happen. That feeling of, oh, I don't want to do this anymore will occur, right? Because it's natural. You're going to always feel pressure when you're doing something that you're not used to doing. But it's that intentional force to move forwards that's going to strengthen your mind. It's going to strengthen your will, your confidence. That right there, when you don't want to do something and you still do it, and you let's say you do accomplish that task, and you've seen that you accomplished that task, and you're like, oh, I look back, I really didn't want to do that, but it ended up working. That brings you confidence, because it shows that it doesn't always have to be with ambition. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be motivated to achieve goals. And when you figure out that you don't have to be motivated to achieve goals,